Some social media users have been questioning why it appears they are suddenly following President Donald Trump on platforms like Facebook or Instagram if they did not intend to. Users have flooded social media in recent days with questions and even conspiracy theories about it. Some are complaining the apps are not letting them unfollow certain accounts. Well, our CBS News confirmed team has looked into this, and it turns out the answer to why you may suddenly be following the president on social media is pretty simple. It's because you probably already were. So here to explain is CBS News confirmed executive editor Rona Tarrant. I don't know why we need a segment on this if that's it. No, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about this. Can you explain what's happening? And are people able to unfollow if they want?
Right. So as you mentioned, basically what was happening is that there was the peaceful transfer of power in the Oval Office on Monday. There was also the peaceful transfer of the social media accounts on Monday. So when President
the official
Biden,
handles.
Exactly. So when he was leaving office, his account basically gets archived and preserved. So it stays that way. Trump then takes over the POTUS handle and that account gets wiped. So it looks like a new account. So essentially he has the POTUS handle and it's empty. So people, when they were formerly following the president over the years, they're now following that account. They're also potentially following FLOTUS or the vice president account as well. Now, as you mentioned, there was an issue with some people trying to unfollow. Now, we talked to people at Meta and people who formerly worked at Meta trying to get to the bottom of this. The general consensus seems to be, and what Meta has said is, there was a technical issue as that was following over, as it was being transferred over, that maybe there was some kind of lag there, but they said they were working to change that. Now, it is worth saying this transferring of the account, that's been happening since the Obama administration. Obama passed it over to Trump, Trump passed it over to Biden, and now it's going back to Trump.
Okay, what about people who are trying to search for certain political hashtags? They're saying they're blocked on places like Instagram. Is there any truth to that?
So the big headlines yesterday that the word Democrat was blocked. Now, we did a few tests ourselves today, and it's actually just a little bit more nuanced than that. So we looked up a few words. Now, if you searched Republican, for example, nothing would show up. But if you searched Republicans, you got results. If you searched for Democrat, you would get results. But if you searched for Democrats, you would get no results. So it doesn't seem like there was any kind of rhyme or reason to this. There was also some other words that we were searching. Constitution, for example, nothing came up as well with that. Now, what Meta said was this was a technical error. They said they were working to fix it as well at the same time yesterday.
Well, we know that Meta's CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, and other tech leaders, they've been in President Trump's circle as of late. There was a lot of backlash when Zuckerberg announced that Meta would actually stop the fact-checking content. So can you help people understand maybe how the social media experience is going to stay the same or potentially differ? And maybe people have some concerns or are expressing those concerns about how they're going to be interacting with social media platforms now.
Right. Users are very right to question things. They're very right to be perceptive, particularly as it's going through these big changes. Now, it's not so long ago that Trump's accounts on the platform were suspended, for example. Fast forward to earlier this month, Mark Zuckerberg is announcing huge changes on the platforms and invoking Trump's election, saying, it feels like the right time to do this. People are right to question those things, but there are bigger changes happening on the platform. As you said, fact-checking. So we're expecting around March the fact-checking to end and it to transition to this community note system. Now, that's going to have an impact in...
Is that like Wikipedia?
It's basically where users get to crowdsource the fact checks. So it's like on X. So basically, you see something that isn't right, you can suggest a note, someone else can suggest a note, you come to a consensus, and that gets put on it. Whereas now, it's companies that are doing these third-party fact-checking companies. What people don't realize as well is that when a fact check is applied to a post, that post actually gets downranked. So what that means is fewer people see it. So now, are we going to see more misinformation on the platform for that reason? Two other changes as well. One thing I'll say is about the political. We're going to see more political content on the platform as well. So Zuckerberg said back in 2021, we're going to show you more posts from your friends and family. That's now changing as well to more political posts. And finally, they're also loosening the guidelines on what people can and can't say on the platforms as well. So that is going to be a big change. So in terms of all of that, there's definitely a lot to look out for. But in terms of the POTUS account and the blocking of the searches, that there doesn't seem to be a big conspiracy behind that one.
Rona Tarrant, thank you as always.